Well, howdy there. That was almost cool. Welcome to Mower Mike's Garage. Today we've got the Z225 EZtrak John Deere, and I'm going to show you guys how to change the deck belt. The deck belt is what hooks on the bottom of the motor, and it's what spins those blades to keep you cutting. And I'm really excited about this video because if you've watched my other John Deere riding mower video where I changed the deck belt, I had to pull the entire deck off. But for this EZtrak, I'm going to show you where you don't have to pull the deck off. It's super easy. You know why? Because these EZtraks are convertibles. Look at that. It opens up, gives you wide open access underneath here, and then the front end pops open. So you've got a ton of access to work this deck belt through the roof, and it makes it really fun. So with that, the first step we're going to do, we've got to get underneath the back end of her to unhook it from the motor, and then I'm going to show you how to unhook it from the rest of the mower. Now, if you're just watching this video to get a diagram of how that deck belt routes on, because you've replaced it, you don't know how to put it back on, go to the end of the video. I've got one section there where we're just going to show you the routing of the deck belt. But for the rest of you, stay tuned and let's get her off. All right, team, so our first step is we need to take the tension off this belt here. This is the deck belt, and we need to take the tension off, that way we can slide it off. Now, you're looking at a view from underneath the floor panel. The floor panel just folds up. You should have a 9/16 bolt that comes out, and the whole thing slides up, and you get this great view of the deck. Now, how do we loosen up? Now, for you stronger folks, you guys may get cocky, just want to pull on this, and then it'll fold this guy forward, and then you can slide it off. But I'm not going to show you that way because I do not want you to lose your fingers. Now, if you look at it, right there, look at that. There's a little square hole right there. And what that square hole is, it's for a 3/8 inch wrench. And this one fits perfect right there. So you make it on righty-tighty, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna use that square hole. Look at that, slides right in there. Well, you wanna turn it to the left, so lefty-loosey. And when you do that, see that? It loosens up the belt, and then you can take it off one of the edges, and voila. Now, when you pull, when it pulls it close, it is going to squinch your wrench in there, but you don't really need it. So until we come back, we're going to reuse it. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. But as you see, you've got plenty of room off the belt. And now we're going to go underneath the butt of the tractor, underneath the back, underneath the motor to show you how to loop it off the drive gear. So stay with me. All right, so now we're underneath the back end of the tractor. You see underneath here, this bolt actually bolts to the bottom of the motor through the crankshaft. And what this thing here is your PTO, mean part-time off. This is what electronically switches on and off. It's a clutch and turns your blades on. So all you want to do is you just pull off the blade belt, which is the bottom belt. Don't mess with the top one. And it's that easy. Since we've already loosened it up, there should be nothing holding on. So once that's off, we'll go to the front and pull her out. All right, now to finish taking off the belt. This next part is absolutely ridiculous and frustrating, but it's just something that has to happen. You'll notice you can't just pull this belt out. Even though it's unhooked everywhere, because it has these guides right here, belt guides, and you can't really squeeze that belt out of there. One right here, one right here. So, over the years, the best way to do it is just rip these things off. Just take them off. These pulleys will slide up, and then you can take the belt off. I know it seems ridiculous, but that's what you got to do. So, we are going to take the world's smallest impact wrench, and it's a 15 millimeter, and there is a nuts go all the way through, so make sure to hold it. Let's see if we can zip it off. There we go. Easy breezy. So that one slides off. Yeah, come on, baby. Pull off. I'm going to pull it forward just a little bit. And this is a good time to take a picture so you remember what you did. And if I was a professional, I would get this thing off. There we go. Don't lose your parts. Golly. What a mess. So you can see we got this guy off, and this is also a really good time to check your bearings on there. And then we'll see if we can get the other guy off. That sounds really bad. You see we're spinning on the bottom of there. I gotta try to get this thing in there. Come on, we're on TV. All right, well, all right, this guy is not Had it for a second. As you can see, this is a little harder than it looks because you got to slide that wrench underneath there. There she goes, or not. And then you lose your light. Aha! We got her now. All right. I apologize for my horrible camera angles, but you can see there, we got her off. It is a her, not a him this time. Thank God. All right, you can see that one's just a bolt. When you slide it off, there we go. We got that guy off. Gotta stop with all these things. All right, and then see here, you just pull it through there, and she should just slide on out. All right, thank God we got her out. All right, let's go take a look at our new belt. All right, we got a close-up. I'm back the next day with the replacement belt. I'm going to show you guys how to install it. But real quick, just talk about this belt. This is a 119-inch belt made by Stern, it looks like. So if it works out, I will post the link on the Amazon down below. Now, it's interesting, look at my old belt. These belts take a lot of wear and tear. If you look here, good thing we're replacing it because that's a big old tear in that belt. And they just take a lot of abuse from cutting the grass. All right, so the first step is we're going to take this replacement belt and you want to shove it down in here. This is a good position. Just shove it in there, and then what you're going to do, you're going to loop it around the bottom pulley just like we took it off and pull it tight. And from there, we're going to go ahead and I'll show you real close how to get it around all these pulleys. All right, we're about to see how good of a YouTube mower mechanic I really am. This is going to be a challenge. So we're looking underneath the hood of the mower, underneath the front floor deck, and what we've got here is the new belt. Now you'll notice the new belt, the V is pointing towards the inside because the V runs on the pulley underneath the motor and it comes up through here. Now our next step is to bolt on those two other pulleys that we took off. Now the first one here, and also remember, this is a good time to feel if you have any rough spots in that bearing. These pulleys are really, really cheap and easy to get on the Amazon. So we need to go ahead and remember it has this little bushing here. So I'm going to slide the bushing on first. And then when you put it on, put the belt on and then just slide her down over here all at one time. Come on, work for me, baby. All right, and that keeper's going to go right there. Now a good idea is to get your 15 millimeter wrench underneath it set up because you got to hold the bottom of it. Now why they did not put a little welded nut on the bottom, I think they're just trying to make it more of a challenge. So let's see if I can hold that wrench and get the sucker zipped on down with my little tiny itty bitty impact wrench, baby. Alright, I can see sometimes it's not the size of the tool, it's how she works, baby. That worked fantastic. Alright, so, whoa, simmer down. Alright, so the next step is we need to get the other one on in the same shot. Is that possible? I do not know. So, take 57, I think we got it figured out. This one's even a bit more of a challenge. So you can see right here, we got the belt coming through here at the flat side against this pulley. If you pull it back a little bit, but then remember the belt also goes around the pulley that slides right there. Now all you're gonna see is a hole right there, and there is no nut underneath it welded on. So the best thing to do is to take a closed-in wrench like so, put your old nut underneath it, and then just try to angle it where it's gonna slide underneath there, and hit it. Now take your other pulley, don't forget your little spacer thing on the bottom, slide it into there. But remember, you also need to make sure your belt is going around here and staying within that guide, unlike I just did. So when you slide it on, you need a third or fourth hand. Come on, work for me, because it's got to go on the inside of that yellow piece. There we go. And then just try to get it where she starts. I think I may have, oh yeah. All right, I can see right there, you hand start it. And I'm gonna take my little wrench and hopefully I've got it here. This is not easy, you can see why now. People take the decks off. All right, nailed it. Whew. All right, so you can see there, we've got this one coming up through here. Make sure that goes through the little keeper thing. That one goes there. So we've got the belt coming from the back, the two flat sides going against each of these pulleys like so, and now you just have to loop it over the spindles. You can see like this one here. Well, actually, we're going to start with this one. Loop it over the spindle. And then if you've done it right, it should be extra tight here. And then you can, you know, it's a little shortcut. You can just grab that. If you got a big old arm, pull it back. Get that sucker around there. And that's it. We got her on. So I'm going to go ahead and test this thing out. Make sure I don't, something doesn't fly off her. And then we'll wrap the sucker up. I tell you what, this Zeroturn is running awesome with that new drive belt and deck belt. Kind of lit her back up. Now, for the deck belt, if I had to do it over again, to be honest with you, I'd probably pull the deck off just to make it easier on those pulleys, but you can't do it with the deck on as we showed you. I've got the drive belt pulley, the drive belt replacement video. I've got one of those. I'll put it in the description and link. Also got a description on how to pull one of these decks off. Put that down there below too also. So with that, this was a lot of fun. We got her ready. Dr. Bob, hope you're getting excited. She's looking sharp. Now, stay tuned if you just want to see how that deck belt was routed with this deck off. Mower Mike's out till next time. Catch your flip side. All right, gang, so I'm going to leave you guys with a shot of the belt routing with the deck removed. So as you see right here where my hand would go, this is where the PTO would hook up underneath the motor. And then it comes down here, goes through that guide, around this pulley, around that deck, around that guy, and then back through here. And then as you pull it tight, you see it's got a spring right there. So just give you a little shot there. I hope you enjoyed it, and Mower Mike out.